Absolutely. Used to watch Bobby Jones every Sunday morning. Used to sneak and watch it, and fake being sick so you can stay home and watch Bobby Jones gospel. I'm a pastor's kid, so our thing was you had to go to Sunday school and and then Sunday morning service. But every chance I got, I watched Bobby Jones. Now I TiVo it every week because just it's Bobby Jones gospel. It's a part of the culture of gospel music for me, and for most of the people that I know. We learned about gospel artists on Bobby Jones. So to be a part of it this year is amazing for me.
With everything that's going on today, it's a similar question that Mr. Condrey asked you. Mm-hmm. With the whole Chick-fil-A deal and everything, the thing that went on in Colorado, what do you think is the most important thing, especially in a politically divisive city like Washington, D.C.? What's important for Washingtonians and anyone in the nation to remember? Just what's the most important thing to you that we should remember?
I think one of the most important things that you have to remember in this kind of political climate is, one, if you believe it, don't let other people sway you off your beliefs. I think that's one of the things that we can learn from Mr. Cathy from Chick-fil-A. The rumors had swirled, and he was like, no, this is what I believe. It is what it is. If y'all don't like it, so what? This is what I believe. And I think that if a person who holds to their beliefs is somebody who's strong. The Bible talks about the fact that you are blessed if you're a man who holds an opinion and does not change even though it hurts you. So I think it's important that as believers, if we say we love God and we sing this music about God, there should be a very solid conviction that we have about who he is to us, who we are to him, and our responsibility to maintain that even when other folk around you don't believe it. And then when you deal with the whole situation in Aurora, Colorado, you're dealing with people from all walks of life, never connected except by a moment, and everybody's like, God brought me through this. I wasn't smart enough. I didn't have the ingenuity. It was God that did this. It was God that brought me out of it. And I think the country is starting to see people who are really turning the nation back to God. And by no means am I saying that God did that situation. But what I am saying is that God can use even the most horrific situation and turn it to bring people back to him. And I think that's part of what's happening now, is our God consciousness is being raised again.
Okay, one last question. Speaking of moments, what were some of your turning moments? It could be a grand moment or a little tiny moment that you noticed changed the trajectory of your life in a big way, or kind of altered it by 1 degree and then brought you where you are today? And then that's my last question.
No, that's actually an easy question for me to answer. I was called to sing at a homegoing service, actually, Celebration of Life for Bishop Kenneth Moles, who passed a couple of years ago. And while I was there, I was one of the many people who were singing for his musical tribute. And Stanley Brown, who works at Verity Records, was there, and he heard me sing, and he called me about a week later and said, we really need to talk. And I'm like, you're Stanley Brown, whatever you want, you can have it. He's one of those people that I've always kind of admired as a musician. And he said, well, I work at Verity now, and I want to bring you on board, and let me tell you why. He said, when I heard you sing at that musical, you did something nobody else did for me. He said, you made me feel the music, and you made me look towards God. And so just me doing kind of what I've always learned how to do and what I've always known to do, that one encounter where you had one person, and that's not to say he was the only person impacted by that moment. I hope he wasn't the only person impacted by that moment, but you had one person who was impacted by a moment enough to make a phone call, to set up a meeting, and the rest is history. That one phone call led to me meeting Jazzy Jordan, who's the president of the company, and as a result of that, a few months later they offered me a deal, and now here I am, my song is at the top of the charts, and record is doing very well, and I have nothing to complain about, but God knows how to take a moment and it will literally change the trajectory of your life.
Well, thank you very much.